Hello and welcome back to another in-depth weather video. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and click the bell to never miss another in-depth weather video. Now let's go in-depth. Here I am, National Weather Service page on the radar. As you see, we have rain in the west and east and northeast with thunderstorms in the mid-Atlantic, the southeast, and parts of the central region. Now, this video, I'm not really going to be focusing on thunderstorms. I'm going to be focusing on Tropical Storm Cristobal. Here we are, Tropical Storm Cristobal. It's back to a tropical storm. It was demoted yesterday. It was ranked back to a tropical storm. And right now, it has sustained winds of 40 knots or 45 miles an hour. Now, right now, our cone is taking this storm straight up into Louisiana. We have tropical storm warnings in place, and even more. I'm going to go in depth on that right now. So we're going to go warnings by state. We're just going to go with eastern Louisiana. So we have tropical storm warnings in southern Mississippi and southeastern Louisiana. We have tropical storm watches in western Louisiana. We have storm surge watches in right over here, and storm surge warnings, including New Orleans. New Orleans is under a storm surge warning. Next up, we're going Mobile, Pensacola area. Tropical storm warnings there as well. We even have flood watches and high surf warnings in these areas as well. And then finally, there is flood watches in Florida. Now, I do want to go to first the NAM 3-kilometer model, where we can start to see this storm, Tropical Storm Cristobal, making its way north. Now, this is Saturday. This is about 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. And you can see Tropical Storm Cristobal making a big impact on the Gulf. Already having some rain falling in Florida. And throughout the day on Saturday, this outer rain band is going to start to move into the Gulf states, particularly on the east side of the low pressure. So Florida, maybe parts of Alabama, Georgia, maybe even Mississippi, and maybe some parts of Louisiana. Could see some rain starting sometime on Saturday. Now, as we get into Sunday, here is midnight Sunday. We can start to see the more core rain bands starting to move in to Louisiana and Mississippi. And then right now the NAM is showing landfall at about 19, so that's 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, and that would be 6 Central Time. There are both time zones over here. So 7 Eastern, 6 Central. This will make landfall in Louisiana. And this will continue to move into Louisiana, Mississippi, kind of following the actual Mississippi River for a little bit. And now this is where we move into the 12-kilometer model, where we start to see this storm will start to obviously decrease in strength and start moving north. Another thing that I do want to touch on is this system right here. we're looking at snow in the Rockies, and that's kind of crazy for this time of the year. I always like to see late season snow. It's always a fun thing to cover. So let's just quickly cover that. Could see 6 inches in spots. That is insane. But now let's go back to Cristobal. Total accumulated precip. As you can see, right now we used to have our total accumulated precip highs in this area over here. It is now shifted to just to the east of the central part of the storm. So areas in Mississippi, along the Mississippi coastline, could see 6 inches of rain plus just from this storm. Primarily from this storm. There is some rainfall beforehand, but even areas higher than that, in the 10-inch range, Louisiana, we're seeing a lot of this 2 to 6 inch range, especially along the coastlines. Alabama, the area near Pensacola, Florida, also in this 2 to 6 inch range. The 1/2 inch to 2 inch range extends much further into the country, as well as around the storm, but we are looking at a major flood threat here. And we are also looking at a major storm surge threat, which is based on wind, because the wind is going to be pushing the water. As you can see, we have right over here, right here. Now this is tropical storm force winds right on the coast. I do want to find that, I feel like it's this one. Here we go, wave height. So we could see waves in that 15 to 19 foot area. And even some areas higher than that, in that 19 to 21 foot range. But storm surge is going to be a major threat, and flooding is going to be a major threat. Now, going back to the NAM 12 kilometer model, let's just go back to our winds. Once it gets onshore, winds and wind damage shouldn't be as much of a threat. As you can see, everything is this blue range, which is 0 to 20. Well, technically 4 to 20 knots. So maybe some areas in that 20 to 24 knot range, but really nothing significant. Nothing in that 30 to 40 knot range. Just offshore and on the very coast will we be seeing a significant wind threat. So just to recap, major threats: flooding, storm surge, and winds only on the coast. If you want to see more, I'm going to put a card to Deep Dive Tropical Cyclones, where you can find out more about the risks of tropical cyclones. Now, I do just want to look quickly at the European model, just landfall, just seeing if, yeah, it's showing a similar spot for landfall now. So all the models are kind of coordinated together, and it is looking imminent. It is almost definite that we're going to see a landfall of Tropical Storm Cristobal in Louisiana. New Orleans is a city that is highly vulnerable to these storms, and New Orleans is right in the target zone from this storm. If you live anywhere on the Gulf Coast, please trust your gut. Trust your instincts. If you think that you should evacuate, please do. There have been evacuation orders issued, so please follow the evacuation orders if you have one in place. But as I always say, trust your instincts. If you are outside that evacuation zone and you know that your home has had a past history of damage from these storms, please evacuate. Stay safe and make sure that you are out of this storm's path if you are vulnerable.